Alright there, hello there everyone, this is Soul 17 here, and just like usual, I don't know, this is a non-paid video. Alright, okay. So, let me get through this real quick. This explanation. It is kind of going with the Shadows, timeline. Like how he was made, but instead it's basically 50 years before Hero Society is made, where the age of quirks are coming around, and heroes are just being, starting to be made and such. So, the government decides to see if they can make a quirkless person have a quirk. That's the whole entire premise of this. So, there's Dr. Gerald? Oh, hold on, I was gonna mess up this name. Correction, Professor Gerald Robotnik. Gerald, probably. Yes, Gerald Robotnik, basically. And, his daughter or niece, Maria, they're gonna be a part of it. A few slight twists and turns in this what if. Okay, so allow me to get into it. The day where we're having Izuku, well, where he is at the moment. We're not gonna go right into the world where he is, going to be in. We're going maybe 150 years into the past. Or 50. Make it more easier. Round it up to maybe 60 years. And let's make it 150. That would be around the time period. Because I want to have a little bit of some things happen. You'll see. But anyways, so this is What If Deku was Shadow the Hedgehog, Part 1. Alright. So Izuku, he's basically in an orphanage right now. His parents just died in a car accident. It's not Inko. No, Inko's not his mother in this one. Well, not yet, at least. Well, actually, it's gonna be kind of a awkward situation, kind of thing. But anyways, so Izuku and some kids are in an orphanage. There are some kids with quirks, only like 3 of them, but there's mostly quirkless kids. And a group of people in black suits come to this orphanage. The lady asks, are you gentlemen here to adopt? And they say, yes, ma'am. We're here to adopt any quirkless kids. Is there any one of them here? As the woman nods, and they said, have only 4 of our kids here who, have quirks. And then they said they'll like to adopt them all. Like, huh? Why? It's like, well, basically, how can I say this right? Our boss, or master, basically needed quirkless kids. Wants to keep them in a secure place. So, do you mind, ma'am? As she's not skeptical, because these kids have been here for a while, they do need homes, and sooner or later, she knows there's going to be too many quirk kids here, so she agrees. The men take them into this vehicle. It's multiple vans, actually, which they realize. Izuku's wondering, because since he's around 8, so he's wondering this. What's going to happen to us? I'll just go along with this for now. And Izuku's pretty smart for his age, I should tell you. So, what happens is, when they get to the facility, it's basically an underground abandoned building. Basically the building that, they're in has an elevator to go down and be nowhere. This is to find out which kids are gonna go to the space colony arc. Yes, I am taking that. And I'm also doing the whole entire thing where Shadow was half of many things, but I'm doing that differently. So, anyways, so in this case, basically these kids are being experimented on. Basically, not like too much, because these are people who actually do care about the kids, including the government at the time. They do care. they basically, saying, we gotta take it easy on these kids. We don't know how, frail they can be or how much they can take, so we gotta take it slow, guys. As, the doctors and the scientists understand. So they experiment with the kids very slowly. And the one who seems to be the more potential than everyone else is Izuku, but there's a lot of them that have, that seem to be better than him. So, during for a couple of days, they don't. They have a new doctor that comes in, and her name is Dr. Midoriya. Her full name is Inko Midoriya. She comes in as a new doctor because she has invented something to help have a quirk to someone with a quirk DNA to merge with someone else's. She calls it chaos energy. She invented it, but truthfully, it came from a big giant emerald, guarded by someone with red hair, an old man basically, and he asked, her basically, why are you here? And she said, I was trying to find a power source that are in these in the ruins back over there. As she pointed, and so, this man hears him. Hears her out basically, and he understands. So you're trying to invent a new power source to merge with someone with quirk DNA to unlock a quirk within them, even if they're quirkless. And she nods. And so he led her to the Master Emerald, and, well, basically he just told her to touch it. And when she touched the Master Emerald, it basically gave her knowledge on chaos energy and how to make it. But in return, there were never chaos emeralds. So he just says, in return, you must make 7 chaos emeralds. And she nods. So basically, this is why she's here, basically. She invented the chaos energy. She invented the chaos emeralds. And so, she looks at all the kids, but one in particular stands out to her. Izuku. He has no last name. And she basically just stopped at him and saw him. And she had a good feeling about this kid. But so the tests go on. Like speed, endurance, strength. They start building these kids from the ground up and never break them down, just keep on building on them, making sure they're strong. And it's the final day of their test to see who will become Project Shadow, basically. I have a feeling everyone's gonna be like, why? Why am I doing this? Because I don't know. I thought, why not? I think someone asked me to do a Sonic What If or a Shadow What If. I don't know. I was like, fine. I think I'm something good. But anyways, so yeah, this is why I'm making it. Anyways, so basically, every kid is going through it, and they do scream out in pain, and the chaos energy is absorbed into them because they inject them with DNA from a certain blue spiky hair speedster, basically. And he was willing to give up his DNA. So they basically cloned it, made sure there was enough for these kids, and each one of them, before they go into this pool of chaos energy, is given the DNA just to see if it'll fuse with them. And so each kid goes, each one fails, but the pool keeps on getting lower. Because they do absorb the chaos energy, which hurts them a lot, but they couldn't take it. So the last one up is Izuku. The scientists and doctors are worried about this. The people who work there are trying so hard to make help this out. With quirk, having a quirk manifest in a quirkless person. They don't know what to do, basically. One of them says, I don't even think this is gonna work, and there's only one kid left. We have to go get a new batch. Tests of kids, basically. One of them does then add in saying, but do you think the government will allow us? This is our only one-time shot. If we can't even get one kid, to become Project Shadow, then we can't have him go up to Space Colony Arc. And there's that scientist that I almost talked to nods. So Inko just, gives the injection to Izuku. She just says, just try your best, and it's alright if you fail. That doesn't mean anything, alright? He doesn't even nod, he just walks past her. For him, it's like, it doesn't even matter to him. Because he really gave up on everything after his parents' death. Dr. Midoriya is pretty shocked by this, but she's gonna let it slide. So, when Izuku goes into the chaos energy and just, he was told just to basically float above it and just let it flow into him. So, it does start happening. The chaos energy starts to flow into his body as he does scream only for about a few minutes. They're about to tell him to get up, but then they see the chaos energy is absorbing into him. Every single, bit of basically the energy is water. So basically, that's how it is, like a liquid type of thing. I should have added. So basically, yeah, it's absorbing into his body, and it is going. All of it just going, basically being absorbed until every last drop, which all of a sudden, basically, they just see a whole burst of energy coming off of Izuku. And may I add, Izuku did not have green hair, he had black. But because of the chaos energy, he does get some red streaks in his hair. And if your guys are wondering, wait, does this blue spiky hair person had ears on his top of his head? Yes. Izuku's gonna look somewhat like in the picture. Don't judge me. But this is when he's older, 14, 13-ish. Alright. So, as a kid, though, not so much. Anyway, so Izuku, gets that. Everyone can just see this, glow for a few minutes and then it stops. And they look and they see Izuku just getting up, basically. He cracks his neck, he goes like, man, that only did hurt for a couple of minutes. So, why did I go up to the Space Colony Arc? And everyone is shocked. They ask, wait, can you... Izuku just starts running, basically. And he was in a... Well, I don't want to make a joke, but in a flash, he was out of the... Where the water... Basically, the pool... Well, the water / energy of chaos energy was in. And just, sitting in a chair holding a freaking donut. He was like... Stole this from the lobby, what is it called? The employees lobby? They're like, and he just bites into it and he goes, jelly donut. Good. Everyone just starts cheering. All the other kids are like, what the hell? I mean, we trained twice as hard as him. One of them is saying, the other one's just baffled. They literally thought they were gonna, some of them were getting cocky during this week, saying, oh, they're gonna be the Shadow, the Project Shadow, basically. Inko just smiles because her instinct was right about him. He was special. So, what happens is, they give Izuku clothing. I mean, he can choose whatever he wants. He just goes with black pants and a red shirt, and a hoodie, no, a jacket, basically black, not the one that you see in the picture or can't even see, but yeah, he just goes with a regular hoodie. And he asks, "Is that all?" He goes, "Oh, I need sneakers." And then Go basically says she has it already covered. So she gives him some sneakers. He goes, "Thanks, Dr. Midoriya." So, when am I going to the Space Colony Arc? She goes, "Pretty soon. I mean, first off, we gotta make sure you're ready." He's like, "More tests?" She nods. So they test him out on his abilities and skills. So, they learn he can teleport. He can move real fast. He can basically shoot out chaos energy. Basically, they did not realize that he was able to use chaos energy, or the chaos energy enhanced the quirk itself to basically be like on another level from the DNA that they got from the person. Which he does ask finally. He was like, wait, who was the person's DNA that you used? And they just say, one of the scientists say, someone named Sonic. He's like, huh? Who named their kid that? And the scientists just shrug. He's like, idiots. I swear to... They're just parents. We're names, okay? Whatever. Let's do this. So, yeah. He's trained. He's pushing himself to his limits. And then he goes, after a month of that, he goes to the space colony Art. He meets Dr. Trying to make sure I can say his name right. Okay, yep. I just watched a video on Sonic Adventures 2 and they say Jerable. So, yeah, okay. So basically, Izuku meets Jerable Robotnik and and basically Maria. And which he's looking around the place. You know, they just landed on and he gets out of the spaceship and he basically looks and he goes like, whoa, I knew the Earth can look so beautiful from up here. And Jerable Robotnik looks at this 8-year-old kid who just came out of the spaceship. And he goes like, is this Project Shadow? And Izuku goes, yep, pretty much. I'm Izuku. Or you can just call me Shadow. How does it matter to me? Actually, I prefer if you call me Shadow. And then he hears a familiar voice, and it's just Inko. He say, Izuku, don't be rude. Basically, that's the project name. Your name is Izuku, not Shadow itself. And he's like, Dr. Midoriya, why are you here? She goes, basically, we don't know if the chaos energy within you is unstable, so I'm here to make sure that you are. Can be just fine. And he's like, fine. Jeez. Huh? Who's the girl? Which Jerable Robotnik introduces Maria, saying, this is my niece, or I think it was niece or granddaughter. So it's niece or granddaughter. Wait, tell me how to say. My niece slash granddaughter. Yeah. Hold on. Let me just double check. Granddaughter. Okay, some stuff does escape me. I have to apologize on that. But the granddaughter of Jerable Robotnik. Basically, he introduces that. Basically, they're around the same age. And she goes, hi, my name's Maria. And he just says, Shadow. And then Inko says, no, it's Izuku, sweetie, don't worry about him. His attitude changed completely when he became Shadow. I was like, huh, his name is Izuku? It sounds Japanese. Yes, I'm from Japan. You? She was America. And Izuku was like, huh, how am I able to understand if I don't even know how to speak American? Only like 8 years old. Well, 8.5. Is it due to the chaos energy? He's thinking to himself. He shrugs at it and he goes, I'll figure it out another day. And so, throughout the years, because we're doing the time skips, basically, throughout the years, Izuku and Maria have gained close. Not to the point of, being basically together, but it's like friendship, way. Because that's not going to be the ship. I don't know who can be the ship for this one. You guys can leave it because I am putting all the freaking Sonic characters into this one that I can. So this is going to be separate from UA. So basically, though, Izuku and Maria became close friends. Jerable Robotnik has thought of Izuku as his own grandson, along with Inko thinking of him as her own son. She has not been married because of her pursuit of her work. Even if she did, was married, her basically husband would have left her by now, she said. Because it has happened once to her. So, she has no children, so she thinks that Izuku has her child. She explained it to him. And it'd be nice if he ever called her mom. So, Izuku basically never called her mom. He just called her always Dr. Inko. I mean, Dr. Midoriya or Dr. Inko. And she was always fine with that, but she always wanted him to call her mom. So, anyways. So, we're gonna basically time skip, to the day of, well, the space colony arc attack. But here's the thing, though. Beforehand, a new member came onto the ship a year before this happened. His name was Mark. Mark was was originally from America, but moved to Japan and worked for the Japanese government, who came up to the space colony arc because that's the Americans in Japan were funding this. So, yeah, Mark came in. He had a motorcycle. He learned from well, I mean not learned. He learned about Mark learned about Izuku and who he was before he became Project Shadow, and just in general, he was amazed by the kid. And for some reason, the kid always had a knack to learn new things really quickly. Fighting combat, was pretty much cinched to him. He even learned how to use guns, basically. And, well, he even learned how to ride a motorcycle. Mark always, gave him lessons. And Izuku was always happy to talk to Mark. But secretly, deep down inside, Mark never wanted this. Don't want him to be here when the attack happens and see Izuku's reaction. So, if you guys are wondering, yes, Dr. Jerobo Robotnik is using Izuku as a way to cure Maria's condition. Maria still has that in this what if. So, yes, she still has it. And Inko did say the chaos energy could probably do anything, if probably even cure a sickness. In which Jerobo Robotnik was like thinking Project Shadow could cure Maria's sickness, then that means there's still hope for her. So, yes. Even though he was using Izuku, he ended up liking Izuku to the point of making think of him as a grandson. So, yeah. So basically, the day of the space colony arc attack, everything goes to canon. Maria does get shot, but Mark tried to stop the guy, but he was too late, and Izuku saw Mark hit the guy, and the guys restrained him. One of them was about to pull a gun on him, and this is when Maria sent him down back to Earth. And the guy he punched said, "Stop! He's one of us." And Mark is just yelling at the guy, saying, "How could you shoot her? How could you shoot the girl?" Basically, that wasn't part of the plan. And Dr. Inko is saying, "Mark," and he's saying, like, all the scientists were, if they resisted, they're supposed to be eliminated, but a lot of them didn't resist. So a lot of them are still alive and left alone. I told her not to move and let Project Shadow out. We're gonna get him a normal life, but she sent him down to Earth in a cryo state too, basically. Which Inko sees Maria, she gasps, and she runs over and checks, and Maria's already dead. Maria gave that speech to Shadow about protect the Earth and stuff, and basically, after this incident, the space colony arc is shut down. The scientists who worked on it left and were sworn to secrecy, never to tell no one. Inko asked the governor of Japan to still work on stuff because they found Izuku and put him in a place to be, basically frozen for as long as they could, because he technically was a danger. They were gonna try to restrain his quirk and the power within him, but since he was already frozen, they decided just to keep him that way. But Inko asked if she could ever make stuff for him to keep his power in check, because he never had the inhibitor rings, because she was working on them still. The technology wasn't that great, so the governor of Japan nodded, and Mark was there protecting the facility. The man who shot Maria, we'll call him Issei. I don't know why, I just wanted to call him that. He regrets it to this day. and he quit for what job he had and go into politics. He's special in this case. He sees Gerald Robotnik. You know, Robotnik did try to alter Izuku's memories, but Inko saw this and just fixed them all. She erased Jerobo's programming and such into Izuku. She worked every day just to make sure Izuku would have a couple of items for him, even some new clothing if needed. She basically made sure everything was prepared for him. Even the explanation on the emeralds she finally finished. And basically, Mark and Issei were in their 20s. Inko was in her mid-30s. So, Mark was had a quirk. So did, Issei. Their basically quirks were first gen, but they're basically first gen, but they allowed their time to move slow. So they called it slow time, their quirks. For some reason, they didn't know how they had it. Then they found out they were brothers by different parents. Well, one of them parents were, like, they're half brothers. So basically they will have the same type of quirks, time. So basically they've been around for 150 years. One of them became a governor, the other one became became the governor of Japan, and another one became the vice president, the vice governor. Basically the aide to it. So Issei became the vice president and Mark became the governor of Japan. Because Issei kept on losing, so Mark tried out and he won. Which was very funny to them both. So basically, for 150 years, the world moved on, not knowing about Project Shadow or Space Colony R, or even only knew about the Chaos Emeralds and about the great hero Sonic. Basically, that came out 150 years later, because every hero that was Sonic always was just a speedster that came around. Not a great one, a great hero, but not like a legend like this nowadays Sonic. So we're going to the day of, the present. Izuku's still still frozen, still sleeping. In which we're going to UA. The youngest ever person to join UA became a hero named Sonic. Legit, they literally kept the name Sonic in the family. Always. If you're a boy, that was the thing. If they're a boy, they had the same quirk as the parent, as one of the Sonics, they named Sonic. In which every generation, they always had some new ability. So this Sonic has basically a guitar. He's very good at playing guitar, basically. And, the Chaos Emeralds, he used multiple times, so he gained the super form and the weird, not Chaos Control yet, but still. But they've always been scattered, and he always goes around the world, along with his team. Tails, his partner, goes around the world, and he's allowed to. He only stays at UA because, he's so young, and no one can know he's a hero yet, but still. He is a hero. He fights Dr. Robotnik. Or Dr. Eggman. So, yeah. No one really minds it, but some people are like, a kid, really? Huh. I wonder why. Basically, this is like when he was 9 when it happened, and then when he's a teenager now. So, basically, during this day, Sonic and Tails are walking around, and he was like, "Hey, good buddy, where you want to go?" Tails just says, "I don't know, Sonic. Want to go to that new chili dog place?" He goes, "Nah, not today. I would want chili dog, but for some reason, I'm just not in the mood." Which Tails just stops and be like, "You're not into "Oh, who are you? What have you done with Sonic?" And he was like, "Huh? What do you mean? I'm Sonic." He was like, "Sonic is always in the mood for a chili dog." Tails added, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, I know, but my mom's complaining at me because I'm eating too much of them, so I had to cut down on them, unfortunately." And Tails goes like, "Oh, figured I should have figured that much." Because he just like Sonic just stares there puzzled, be like, "Why does Tails?" Never mind. So, anyways, should we go back to your workshop and invent anything, Tails, or do you just want to walk around the city a little bit more? Tails just says, "Walk around." So, when they walk around for at least 30 minutes, a villain attack happens. It's Robotnik. He's having his robots destroy the city a little, and Sonic steps into action. If it's anything to do with Robotnik, he's able to join in and stop it immediately, since even though basically these robots are very stronger than most heroes, for some reason Sonic's the only one that could ever take them on. So basically, yeah. So he takes out all of the robots. One of them smashes into the building that Izuku became Shadow in. Yes, they legit put him there as a memorial, basically, where he was born. Because I think he would die while he was frozen. No one knows how long he was going to live. They called him the ultimate life form, Shadow, Project Shadow, the ultimate life form, when he was never around. But they just shortened it to become Project Shadow. But anyway, so the robot smashed into the power source of the building. And basically, Sonic cleans up the rubble, helps out people, gets everything neat and in order and such until the pros actually come. He tells them what happened, they thank him, and he leaves with Tails. Followed by Amy then chasing Sonic later. Yeah, so that night, Izuku basically waking up, but we have to go into a little bit of a time. Back a little bit backwards in time for about 5 minutes. So, the whole entire power that night is being shut down. They had backup generators, but they were failing because they were so old. No one came back in maintenance because they forgot about it. Due to Mark and Issei's, who they became governors, so they always made sure no one would come over and fix it, because they want this kid to have a normal life. Just to be in society now. And so, this is how Issei thinks he can repay what he did to him. Took away everything. He's even willing to let this kid kill him if necessary, just to repay it back. Mark is just there to apologize to Izuku. So, basically, due to that, the systems are basically going off, flickering off and on, and then until it finally goes out. And this is when Izuku, the whole entire, for some reason, the whole entire chamber he's in that's supposed to keep him cold just starts warming him up, waking him up. As then he opens up, the glass door that has him, and he's, basically in. And he's like, "Where am I? What happened to me?" So he gets up and tries to get out, starts to walk, and then he falls. He's like, "What happened? My legs, I can't." So he starts crawling to the nearest terminal, basically. And this is when the power comes right back on. And so, this is what happens. A screen pops up, and it says, "Hello, testing. Is this thing on?" And, Zuko hearing the voice, it's Dr. Midoriya, he says. And when he sees the picture of her, she looks in her 50s, older. And he's like, What happened to her?" And she goes, "Alright. Hi there, Zuko. It's me, Inko." Well, it's been a while. Almost been 20 years? It's basically I'm in my 50s. It's been a long time since you've been gone. I finally been able to finish everything for you. if you ever wake up, that is, you see, you may wake up in a future where everyone you knew is gone. And I don't know if I'll ever be there in that future. So I made sure I would be around, basically, in some way or form. Hopefully the reincarnation cycle is real. She crosses her fingers and says, let's hope. Because I would really like to meet you again. But anyways, you've been gone because you were frozen. You probably can't feel your legs because you've been, frozen for 150 years. Or, I don't know how long. That's just a rough guess. Because by the time the generators, this place ever lose power, the generators will go out. And if they're old enough, basically that's 150 years, they won't work properly. So there may be an instance where you will basically be unfrozen, which I rigged that container for you to unfreeze you when the power goes out. So, let me explain. I work day in and day out just so you can have a couple of things in Block A, Section 2. Or A2 for short, basically, of the building. You're in the layout of the building because this is where you were turned into Shadow. Or became Project Shadow, basically. And Izuku does take a few minutes, glance around, and he does know this is this is where he became Shadow. He's looking at the back of the computer screen, and she just says, I missed you a lot. Maria's dead. Jarvo Robotnik is gone too. He was arrested. I know you don't want to believe it that Maria's dead, but she was gonna die eventually. She was sick, and Jarvo Robotnik thought you can cure her sickness by her just being around you. It would work. There's a 50% chance it would, but there was also another 50 that it wouldn't. So eventually she would have died. And I know you care about her deeply, but I don't. No, I don't. I'm just begging, please, don't go for revenge. Have a normal life. Do normal things. Learn different things about the world that you're in, or the time period it is, and just have fun. I just want you to be safe, Izuku. I know I'm not your real mother, but I've treated you like like you're my own son, so I'm gonna be worried about you. I won't be there. As she starts to tear up. Izuku seeing that, realized that she really did care. Like he thought, like somewhere deep down inside, that she didn't really care about him. If she would just use him because of he was just hadn't hit her chaos energy she made in him. So while she's wiping away the tears, she goes, sorry about that, but anyways, I made some stuff for you just to be prepared. Some new sneakers to help out, for you to move even faster. Inhibitor rings to keep control of your chaos energy, because you do have way too much. And I found out while you were sleeping, the chaos energy within you enhanced your quirk, which Izuku is shocked, and she does add, it basically made it to the point where it's on the same level as whatever time period Sonic speed is, basically. You just have to train your body just to get stronger, learn different things. But I know you can do it. You're smart. You're very quick to adapt to new things. Basically, I know you'll survive in whatever world you're in. Also, I finally finished up the emeralds. I promise, it took me over 15 years just to finish them, but I did. As Izuku smiles, and she does say, well, Mark and the man who shot your Maria had quirks basically keep them alive very long. They still look pretty young for, when I see them. Yes, I know, the man who shot Maria, he does regret it. He didn't want to, but it was in orders and he was a soldier. And Izuku understands now. And she does reveal something. General Robotnik built weapons to fight Earth, basically. And that's why we were shut down. Sorry about that, my dad opened up the door, but anyways, as I was saying. So Izuku's eyes widen, and she does say, like, he built weapons and mass destruction, actually, so that's why we were shut down the way we were. And he tried to alter your memories to get revenge for Maria's death. But I know you're smart enough to realize if I told you this that there was no other way, or there could have been a different way, but there was a little time or something. But I left everything for you to read in A Section 1. All the equipment that you need is A Section 2. So, I need to get going. I'm gonna be late for my wedding. Which Izuku eyes widen, and he smiles, and he finally says so she finally got married. And then she does say, hopefully I can have a kid just like you. Because you really were the light of my life at the time. Hold on. So anyways, like I was saying. So she does start to cry a little bit into the video, and she just says this. Remember, Izuku, even though I wasn't your real mother, I still basically gave you a lot of love and attention like I was, because I will always, love you like you're my own son. So, goodbye, son. I'll miss you. As Izuku, for some reason, starts crying, and finally he says, thank you for everything, Mom. And this is when Inko shuts off the camera. And this is when the system shuts off. He does get up, and he does start, slowly pushing himself just to walk over to where, he knows the sections are. He gets to the A section. He goes to section 2. Basically, he's starting to feel his legs, the numbness from his legs to get off of him and walk. He basically gets there, and he finds multiple different clothing. He finds their inhibitor rings. He finds the sneakers. He puts on... Well, he puts on the clothing first. Basically, it's somewhat looking like the picture right now, basically. The jacket and stuff he has on. The gloves, it's just fingers, gloves. He puts the inhibitor rings on. And he feels his power basically being contained, because he always felt it leaving him, but it was like always recharging at the same time. So basically, he feels a little bit limited, but not really. Then he puts on, the sneakers and such. They feel lightweight, and they are just hover boot, the hover sneakers that he has. So he says they feel lightweight, very sturdy. And then he walks over to right across the hall, which is section 1. Section A1, basically. And he sees all the papers. Well, not papers, more like files on a computer that they are. And Izuku reads them all. And he read everything. He read about the Dr. Gerbil's plans. And he's like, huh. So the professor was gonna plan an attack because, all for one. So he's the reason why. Turns out I wasn't even helping Maria. So the doctor had made a deal with All for One. If you invented these weapons, he would Well, he'll cure Maria's sickness. He put us all in danger, that fool. I thought you were a good doctor, but I can understand why you were desperate. But not doctor, professor, but I can understand why you were desperate. And he read about the Chaos Emeralds, even about the previous Sonics being able to transform into Super after basically absorbing the Chaos Energy, even a ring that passed down for their family. So this intrigues Izuku. And he does look up his name, like he looks up Izuku. And like Izuku blank. We're not gonna give him a last name. And there's nothing there. Like after he was in orphanage, that's when his record's gone. Nobody knows where he was. And he was forgotten for 150 years. He looked up about Inko. She got married, she had kids. She lived until she was in her 90s. And, well, her kids had kids, and so on and so forth. He was happy. He just said, "Sorry I never called you Mom back then. I thought maybe in time I would, but we didn't have enough." How much of a fool I was. So basically, he gets up, from the chair, shuts up the computer, looks back at it again, and then he thinks, I wonder what the world's gonna look like. Maybe there's a security system I can look outside. Yeah, if I remember correctly, there was a security system in B block. So he walks all the way to that area, and he looks at the security system, and he sees that it has changed very much. It's 150 years. It changed so much and yet so little exactly at the same time. I remember exactly how this was when I was younger. I need to learn everything I can from right now. Then he knows a computer that's hooked up to, well, the internet. It looks brand new. There's a note on it. For when you wake up, Shadow. Or should I say Izuku? Which Izuku basically read suddenly he just drops the note. He looks around. He's like, was there anyone here? He looks back at the security system. Looks like no one was there at all. So when was this? This computer doesn't look like the computers he had back in the times when he was all on Earth. They looked so new. So he goes through the internet. He looks through anything he can real quick. He understands what happened. He looked based on the news. And there's heroes, there's villains. There's laws about being a hero, which, funny enough, he thinks that's stupid. If you have power, you should be able to help someone. That means this must be a corrupt society. Dirty work in the background. Maybe No, I can't become a hero. If I do, then I risk all for one finding out about me. I had to escape here as soon as possible, just in case the one who brought this here was working for him. They have to fight Mark. Yeah, he's alive still. Maybe Kelly tell me more what happened. More details. So basically, he shuts off the computer, and he basically is shutting down the security system, which then activates a secret alarm going off. Only to the governor of Japan would, get. In a secret room that he's in right now, which one of the people is saying, "Sir, the security for Project Shadow's containment areas, basically been shut down, and the system's back online." And basically, Mark is saying, "So he's finally awake. Issei, do you think he'll forgive us?" Which he doesn't answer. That's the sign of saying he does not know. He just nods in agreement. Which, but saying, "But sir, as soon as before this girl can even say anything, Mark just glares at her, which terrifies her. Basically, she, just can't speak right. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say is, and she just says, "Don't ever call that boy a dangerous threat. He was turned into something because well, he was adopted to become a project. Now he has his own destiny. It's best off we leave him alone for now, and don't tell the Hero Society about him. Which someone else asked, hold on. Alright, I think my dad's just done talking to my dog. Well, our dog. Well, my family's dog. Now, basically, sorry. So, anyways. So, one of the people adds and saying, "Sir, do you think that's alright? The hero should know about this, right?" As Issei says, "No, they shouldn't. If they know, they'll try and make him become a hero. And I don't think that'll be the best idea." And they do realize what they mean, and they nod. Yes, they know about All for One. So, what happens is, when, Izuku is walking out of the basically security room, he goes, going over to the exit, basically the elevator, and he notices something. A bike that he has not seen, a bike that he's not seen in a long time. Well, at least what he thinks it is. He sees something covering it, but he only sees the paint job of it. So he was like, "No way, is that?" As he runs over to it. Well, yeah, speedwalk. Well, actually jogs. Basically runs over to it, takes the tarp off, and it looks like Mark's old bike. I was like, "No way, this is Mark's bike." Man, it looks like it's still brand new. I wonder. Does it? As he looks, it still has the keys in it. He's like, "Oh, Mark, you idiot. Should have never kept the keys in this thing. You know how I am with this." So he starts up the engine. He basically rides it over to the elevator, turns it on, and then it just goes up. Basically, the elevator's going up. When it basically reaches the garage area, Izuku basically uses Chaos Spear just to hit the button to send it up, up, and also destroying the button too. So the garage starts opening up, and all of a sudden, some car is passing by the building. It's about to. Izuku just speeds, revs the engine, just going full speed ahead. Basically, the bike looks like it jumped out of the garage, slides a little when it lands. He's turning, and then just drives off while doing a wheelie. And he just screams. But he just screams out, "Hell yeah!" Basically. And that person's about to almost crash into something. And they're like, "Oh my god, I thought I almost died there." So because of this, Izuku thinking, he goes, "Wait, since basically no one knows about me, no one knows who I am, I can go by a different name. I always do like to call it Shadow." Mom, I just called Inko Mom. Whatever, doesn't matter. He's just driving off, basically enjoying it, speeding. He doesn't know about he knows about the laws, but he doesn't care right now. He's just having fun. And all of a sudden, he notices some heroes are on him in a car, chasing after him. And he's like, "Huh? Heroes? Jeez." Try to keep up, slowpokes. It's just, basically driving a little bit faster. As this kind of turns into a little bit of a chase scene, but eventually Izuku Izuku just says, "Okay, this is a lot of cops on me. I wonder." As then he holds out his hand between, about to snap, and he says, "Chaos!" Well, no, not chaos. He says, "Time stop!" As he snaps his fingers, everything stops besides him and the bike. And he just rides off, basically. And when it looks like to them, he just teleported out of there. No, he stopped time and just drove. So basically Zuko decides to put the bike somewhere. He says, "I'm gonna have to remember where this is. It's, wow. It's actually at an apartment. what if I could ask someone if I could spend the night here? So basically, Izuku, walks out of the alleyway, of the apartment, from the apartment, and when he basically turns, he sees someone looks like Inko, Inko from canon before, the time skip we have, and so, she's not basically the canon Inko, she's still this, the other Inko that we saw in the beginning of the anime, the very first episode. So yeah, she's that look. She has that look Inko. And by the way, if you're wondering, Izuku's like 14 years old, like everyone else. Well, 13. He is 13. He's about to turn 14 soon, anyways. During the 10 months. So yeah. So anyways, he goes, Inko. Well, he doesn't say Inko. He says Dr. Midoriya. And she looks and he goes, who are you? He was like, sorry, you just look like someone I knew. And she goes, huh, really? He goes, yeah, sorry about that. If you excuse me. As for some other reason, this woman doesn't, this Inko doesn't know why, but she stops him. She goes, kid, how old are you? And he just says, 13. Why? And she goes, where are your parents? He goes, dead. Wait, what? He goes, yeah, they're dead. It's been that way for a while now. And she does look up and down at him, but it's like, she doesn't see to him, like, being, like, looking like he's homeless. So she asks, how do you survive? So he just makes up a lie. He goes, use my quirk to steal food. And a little bit of cash. She goes, what's your quirk? As all of a sudden, he just says, watch this. So he gets into, like, a running position. He says, okay, first test ride with these new sneakers. Let's go. As when he starts running, he starts to notice the boots are start hovering. As he's just moving really quickly now. Like, basically, there's, like, a red, like, an orange streak that, basically he's making, like, he's there and then back. Like, he's, like, gone then back. And then he goes, speed quirk. She goes, that's really fast. I know. So, what's your name, ma'am? She goes, Inko Midoriya. And he goes, huh? Wow. He's thinking, he's thinking to himself, I was like, did she get reincarnated? I mean, it has been over 150 years, but still. They look exactly the same. Basically, Inko's looking at him, and she just basically, smiles, and she goes, I'm basically gonna ask you this question. Do you want to stay at my place for the night, or at all? You have somewhere to sleep and good food. And he's like, I'm not that. And then his stomach growls, and he thinks, it has been over 150 years since I last ate. So, he eats with Inko. They chat. He doesn't tell her everything about himself, but he just explains a few things. He says he kind of has like a 2 quirk. It's 1 quirk that enhances his speed quirk. And she goes, what's the other one? He goes, chaos. Energy. Basically, he just lies about it because it's going to be way more easier. So he just tells her about how he can use it and manipulate it. And Inko then remembers. She goes, wait, is your name Shadow, right? And he goes, I mean, yeah, and you're saying you have chaos energy. Yeah. And those sneakers and those rings on your arm, they look very familiar. He goes, they do, huh? Please don't tell me someone, like, copied these and used them for a robbery. She goes, you're Izuku. Just like my grandmother once told me. He goes, huh? Well, here's the thing. I'm the great-great-great-great-granddaughter of Inko Midoriya. Sorry about that, everyone. Hold on. Alright, we're back. So, he goes, okay, yeah, I kind of figure since you look exactly like her. Which, she does say, yeah, my family tells me that a lot. And she does ask, how was she? And Izuku does pause from eating, and he just describes Inko in these words. Very good person. Always a loving, well, mother figure. A doge in her work and research. Basically, she was always there for me when I needed someone to talk to, besides my friend. And she always wanted me to call her mom, which I never got the chance. Until, well, today, when I last saw a video of her. But anyways, I mean, she was a very, very special person. So, in my heart at least, to me, was this Inko, let's look at him right now, does put her hand on his, and don't, she is in her, like, she is older than him, like, you know, in her 20s and such, basically to be a mother, like, you know, almost 30, so she's like, she just looks at him and says, well, since I look like her, I know you're gonna say I'm not, but still, I look like her, I may act like her a little bit, but just know, she probably is watching you right now, and she's just glad you're, you know, awake. Anyways, there's something that's been passed down from my family, and it was to give to you if I ever found you. He goes, okay. So she does say, give me a moment, and she leaves. In which, when she comes back, she does have a box. This box holds something in there for him, she says. Something that she asked me to find whenever the current Sonics are not using them. Or current Sonic is not using it. He goes, what could it be? As then he opens it up and he sees a Chaos Emerald. The green one. He goes like, is that the Chaos Emerald? She goes, mm-hmm. One of them at least. If you read the papers, she said this may be able to, you know, help you do things way more with focusing with, I don't know how she said it, and he just says it like this, as to help me focus my chaos energy to use it to do a lot more things with it freely. Basically, use less of my power. So, this is gonna be quite interesting. As he does smile at it. And then she goes, so, are you gonna become a... No, it's better off I don't become a hero. She goes, wait, why? You... Look, allow me to explain some things. So then he tells her about what Dr. Jerable did and who hired him to, and for the reason why he did it. And she goes, I see, so if you... Exactly. If I am known as a hero, villains, like All For One, will come after me. And I can't allow that to happen. So it's better off if I leave now, Inko. Thank you for the meal, but I must be going. As, you know, she does grab his arm, she goes, I am not letting you go. And he just says, like, why? He goes, because I said I'm not, you can spend the night. And I'm thinking about adopting you. And he's like, she's just like her. Why is every Inko I meet always wants to adopt me? As he has flashbacks to when he was on the space colony running away from Inko, just saying, let me adopt you so you be my son. He was like, never! You mad crazy scientist lady. So it was always like that between them when that happened. So anyways, she just looks at him, gives him the puppy dog eyes, and he's like, fine. I'll be your son. Do I have to go to school? She nods no. He goes like, it's because of my age. He goes, I should be around over 150 years old by now, but I'm not. I'm still 13. She goes, so we just gotta find some records for you. or at least fake them. He goes, yeah, I mean, we got... And then all of a sudden, a knock on the door. As Izuku basically just tells her to get back. As he walks over the door, readying a chaos spear. And when he opens it, he sees two older gentlemen standing there. One of them has a hairstyle that only he recognizes. And another one is a little bit taller than the man, but the body type he can remember. He goes, Mark, and you're the one who shot Maria. As Issei nods and says, correct. And then Mark says, it's been a long time, Izuku. And he does, like, stop the energy coming off his hand, and he goes like, yeah, so tell me, Mark, why are you here? Oh, and by the way, the name's Shadow. Zuko's dead, so... As Mark just says, of course, Shadow. We're here to help you out. He's like, huh? Basically, Ingo comes out from from around the corner. She goes like, Uncle Mark and Uncle Issei? He goes, Ingo, I figure, he'll find you somehow. And basically, Issei nods, and he's like, wait, what? Uncles? She does say they've been a family friend for a long time, so basically I consider them my uncles. But anyways, what do you mean by help Shadow here? I mean, Izuku was, call me Shadow, he says basically, as Inko just says, no, your name is Izuku. It's like, no, it's Shadow. Izuku died many years ago. Basically, and Mark does add in and says, Inko, he's right. He shouldn't go with a name that would be known out of nowhere he has returned. They'll start looking into history of him, which Inko does not in understanding. So Mark just says, maybe, sit down in the living room. So Inko brings them into the living room, and Issei has a folder. Shadow asks, so what's in the folder? So, Issei pulls up pictures of Shadow from what he looks like, and, from when he was a kid to a blank picture. He goes, we're gonna need a photo of who you are right now, so that way we can put you into the system and have you as an orphan, basically again, and then Linko can adopt you for the legal system, so you can be called Izuku Midoriya or something, or I don't know, Shadow Midoriya. And well, Mort just asks, oh, how's your boyfriend doing? And she just says, oh, it's fine. He's fine. And Shadow's like, wait, boyfriend? She's, he should be here any minute. Well, technically we do live together. And not boyfriend, fiance, really. And which, Izuku's like, okay, you should have told me that before you asked. She does chuckle. And Martin just says, I swear that underground pro hero, better not do anything towards you, or I swear I will make sure he feels my wrath. Issa just says, calm down, Mark, he's always been good to Inko. Which, he nods. So, they do talk more about saying, like, how this is gonna work. They're not gonna tell the heroes about him, but if he gets caught, he's allowed to, since the chaos energy within him isn't a quirk, he's allowed to use it in any way possible. Just please don't, use it to destroy anything. And Izuku does ponder on this for a little bit. They do leave him alone, they'll say, even, like, make sure that, if he's ever, in a situation where he needs their help, they'll help him. They do owe him a lot. But, while they're saying this, Izuku remembers Mario's last words, which is from the Shadow, not Shadow, but the Sonic Adventures 2 about protecting the Earth and the people. And then he goes, I will. He goes, huh? I'll agree to your terms. As long as you agree to one of mine. He goes, what's that? He goes, if there's anywhere I can help, let me know. I'll help in any way to protect the Earth. I promised Maria that. Which Acer, kind of smiles that he remembers, but quickly gets rid of it because, yeah, that's when she was dying. So, yeah. And he does say, "Oh, Mark, I found your old bike. It's behind the building." And Mark was like, "Oh, I know. That's how we tracked you here." And he's like, "You put that there, didn't you?" He was like, "Uh huh. I've been keeping that basically in tip-top condition for 150 years for you. Keep it as a gift for your early birthday present. Turn 14 soon. Oh yeah, by the way, here's your driver's license." Which, Shadow catches it. He was like, "Why do I need a license? Also, um, do I have to worry about anything?" Like, which Issei does ask, does add in saying, "Yeah, basically, Jerobo's Robotnik's great grandson, not Ivan, but Dr. Robotnik, or Dr. Eggman, basically, as our current Sonic is saying." As Izuku, as Shadow basically was like, I see. So, you had to get a grandson without knowing, which they nod. So, after that little talk, they get up and says, "Well, it's about time we get going. Shadow's been pleasure seeing you again. We'll come by and visit you more often, alright? Inko, if you ever need anything from us, money, we'll help you get some stuff for Shadow here. We do know his likes and dislikes." Issei does say, "I don't know nothing about him." He was like, "Yes, you do. I told you." He's like, "But still, I don't know him that well." And so then when they're about, when they're like arguing a little bit, they hear the door open and he goes like, "Sweetie, I'm home. Patrol was a pain. Can I get some coffee?" "Oh, it's you two, and wait, why is there a teenager here? Inko, are we taking in stray kids? I mean, they're not like cats, but still, come on. You always tell me when I try to bring a stray cat in here, I'm not allowed to. So why can't you bring kids?" As he just says, like, "Can I please use a chaos spear on him? Please?" You're looking at Inko, she goes, "No, that's my fiance." And basically, he goes, "Okay, so this is what he's saying. So a black-haired, tired-looking man with a scarf, who basically looks like a hobo, kinda dead zombie. No offense, is basically your fiance." And she goes, "He's a pro hero underground, and his name is Eraserhead." He's like, "Uh-huh. Wait, you're Eraserhead?" And he goes, "Yes, you are?" "Shadow. Don't have a last name, just need first name." It's like, "Okay, Shadow. Sounds like you're from a rip-off Hot Topic character." It's like, touche, zombie. Touche. And so Mark just says, "Let us explain." So basically, he says this is top secret information that no one should know about. Only the higher ups in the government should know. Which is, I was like, "Wait, why are you telling me this?" And he goes, and then basically Inko says, "Because I'm adopting him. So he's gonna be, well, alright, my son. Which is gonna be your son. If we get married soon. Well, we're getting married soon anyways. So, our son." And he's like, "Okay, yeah, tell me who he is." And they explain who Izuku is to him. And at the end of it, he's like, "Wait, so you're Izuku that became Project Shadow, went to Space Colony Arc, and then just was frozen for 150 years?" He goes, "Yep, pretty much. You got the gist of it. I was 13 when I was frozen. Funny enough, right?" And he's like, "Oh my god." Okay, so basically, your DNA has a speedster, with a speed quirk in you that came from a guy named Sonic, who has the same name as the current Sonic, who's at the school and who's only the same age as you. And he's just like, "Okay, yes, but the thing is that her great-great-grandma, name was Inca Midoriya too, basically was, you know, made a thing called Chaos Energy. He's like, yeah, I know, she told me about that, but still, you absorbed what was left of it, and you just have these rings to, yes, keep my power in check. If I unleash it, I'll be able to use it all, but then I'll be tired after a while. So, yeah, basically, I even think the Chaos Energy enhanced the, made the quirk not be able to be turned off. So, mutation-like, I guess. And he's like, okay. I'm okay with this. You know what? Okay, this is gonna be very, very weird having you in this house. But anyways, welcome to the family, kid. Should I just call you Izuku Shadow? That's gonna be. And Azawa just says, okay, so we're gonna talk about the name again. Is it like my name or yours? Just mine. Okay, so I'll be Azawa. I'll be Shoto Midoriya then. Okay, that's fine by me. Well, I mean, I'll keep that part. I'll just go still by Shoto Aizawa. Because I don't want, you guys to be hurt. Anyways, so let me show you to your room. We have only one other room in here, and, well, you can use it. So, yeah, we don't have anything like a bed in there, so I hope you don't mind. The Shadow just shrugs and be like, it's fine by me. And then, basically, Mark and he say, leave. They show him the room, and they do tell him, saying like, if you need stuff from us, then the night, just wakes one of us up, we'll help you out. And sorry about that. That is a helicopter, and then basically, so he says, I'll be fine, you too. Anyways, we'll have to take the picture, and then they'll get everything legalized by them tomorrow. So, night, guys. Yeah, basically, they give him a blanket and a pillow, and Izuku takes off his jacket. He's wearing a black shirt. It's just like, it's like the thing that goes, like, the shirt that has, like, goes around, like, the collar around his neck, but just has no sleeves and stuff, basically, and he just says, good night, and then he just falls asleep. And that's where I'm going to leave it off, everyone. I hope you liked this video. I know there's not a lot of action because I'm trying to build it up. And, build up a little bit of suspense and a little bit more story into this. But anyways, I hope you guys have a nice day, night, wherever you are. This is going to come out while I'm sleeping. So, yeah. So, bye, everyone. Have a nice day. Night. Bye.